Next question is from Alan A. Greenery. Should macros change during a deload week?
There's an argument that you make for both, I think.
You can. You're probably, I mean, it really depends on, if you're taking a deload week, I'm assuming that you had a relatively high volume of training, right?
Like you need the deload week.
Yeah, right. You're not like somebody who trains one time a week and you're like, I need a deload week.
Yeah.
You know, so you're probably training 5 days a week or more, and probably a good amount of volume. And the deload week, you're probably being smart and scheduling in there because you need it. So if that's the case, then it's probably safe to say too that the demand of calories that your body needs is probably significantly higher than somebody who's not weight training every single day, right? I mean, if I'm lifting 5 to 7 days a week and training relatively hard and pretty high volume, I'm probably consuming a solid 1,500 calories a day, almost more than that. Probably 1,000 to 1,500 more calories a day. That's a fucking lot.
And this is for you.
Yeah, this is me personally. Now it's all relative to your size and if you're training to gain and lift, whatever. But point being that if you're gonna not replace that with another activity of movement, there's probably going to be a dramatic change in the amount of calories that your body needs, and you want to be careful not to probably put on a bunch of body fat.
Now, the argument on the other side of it would be like this: is okay, I'm going to do this deload week. The goal is to recover, allow my body to rest a little bit. I'm going to keep my calories the same to send an additional signal of speeding up its metabolism, or at least not slowing its metabolism down with higher calories and nourishing my body. Now, this won't work if you do it for 2 or 3 weeks or 4 weeks. Then definitely change your macros. But if it's a 4-day, 5-day deload or a 7-day deload, I like to keep my calories the same.
Yeah, that's a great point, because the amount of body fat you could even put on in 1 week is not that much. Not if you're just keeping the calories the same. You could definitely do some damage if you increase.
If you deload everything.
Yeah.
'Cause that's what I know guys that'll do that. They'll deload their workout, and then it also means I'm going to eat pizza every day on top of it. That's a whole different ballgame.
Really gonna relax.
But no, keep it the same. Do your deload, and what I find when I do this is I come back to the gym stronger.
Yeah.
If I cut my calories while doing the deload, I seem to lower the strength boosting recovery effect. It's like I want to nourish my body, but I also want to rest it at the same time.
There's going to be a spectrum for everybody, and there's probably a sweet spot. Somebody may be towards one side of the spectrum where they keep their calories all the way up. There'll be somebody who has to reduce it drastically, and then there's probably people that are going to land somewhere in between. You have to kind of make that judgment call. But you bring up a great point, Sal, that even if you did.
Yeah, even if it was just a week.
Yeah, if you keep, because you're not going to make the difference of moving that much less to put on 3 to 5 pounds of fat in a week in 1 week's time, unless you did some bullshit eating where you just also overconsume.
We would also manipulate the macronutrients, like up your fats a bit, and make it a little bit more or less inflammatory.
Yeah, some people would say lower your carbs and stuff like that, but I keep it the same. And what I find is if I gain a pound of body fat during that deload week with the same calories, when I go back and work out again, the extra rest, the extra strength balances it right back out. I go right back to, and sometimes surpass where I was before. I've even done this. I don't know if you've, Adam, I would be curious to see if you've ever experienced this, because you kept such meticulous records. Have you ever done a deload week, kept your calories the same, and gotten a little leaner? Have you ever seen weird shit like that?
Yeah, no. When I was competing, that's happened to me more than once. Yeah. And that's always the sign to me that I was pushing too hard.
Yeah.
That I wasn't allowing my body to do what it's supposed to do. And by backing off of the stress, that all of a sudden I saw better results. So I've seen that before. That's always a key indicator that I was overreaching too much and pushing. And that was more common when I was competing than it would in a normal day life now.
Totally.